one moment there. I'm getting the first game loaded up here. Quick heads off. Because these are older games, if you notice the quality of graphics, it's just because they're older games. Older games are not going to be as 4K ultra high quality as newer games. So yeah, just keep that in mind when you look at them or when you see them. Just remember the time frame they came from, but also it's very you know uh, the the software or hardware these people had when they made them. Well, let me get them over. Okay. Oh, okay. There I am. Okay. Hallo, wie ist die going about? This is Mekono here on the what we're going to talk here on the day is way back Wednesday. So this is something new that I'm doing. Every Wednesday or Thursday is way back Wednesday or throwback Thursday. In case we want to switch it up here. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing here. Again, don't know because these games were made in 1992 up to like 2008. The graphics are not going to be like how we play games now. So, just keep that in mind that because of the decade or the time they were made, the limitations of technology that they had at that time. Um, and also it's very to show respect for the people that made these games too, you know. But yeah, hello, there, Hugo. Hugo, we actually have a surprise for you. So if you'll notice that next to your icon, you do have a one because you clicked, but also there is a sword. I hope I'm saying that right. A sword. Because of how active you've been and how supportive, I have made you as my second moderator to this channel. So yeah, I felt that you needed an upgrade on just being a viewer here with a supporter. So congrats, you are considered a moderator. Oh yeah, if in the chat you see Hugo here, and he has a sword, that means he's a moderator. I try not to make my chat so highly filtered, or just to be easily spam reportable, because as someone who messes up English a lot, I know some people may try to type a correct word in, or try to repeat things, but it's not malicious. So my filtering is more laid back because of that. I've seen in many things how people get reported for spam on their timeout, when it turns out it's like them mistyping or just them not understanding English when it gets misunderstood. Oh yeah, if it's just something that's very over the line, Google here will be here or if anyone has questions. And I'm too busy to game to answer them as well. So the first game I'm going to get loaded up here on the way back Wednesday. Let's see here. The first two games are going to be hidden object games. Um, let's see. One moment. I will get that loaded up here.
editing a video for you. I hope you don't mind me. Don't worry, I'm not planning to post it in my channel. At the contrary, I'm editing it for you to post it on your channel. Red heart emoji.
Editing a video for you. I hope you don't mind me. Don't worry, I'm not planning to post it in my channel as the content. I'm editing it for you to post it on your channel. Well, if you worked hard on it, I don't mind you posting it on your channel. I mean, you deserve a bit of recognition too. So if you want, we can just post it on our channels. So that way you have your famous values because you did work hard on it. See. Okay, we have the graceful window capture here. Okay, that's not. Hold on here. Because this is an older game, I'm trying to get it configured for my window here. Okay, one moment. I'm trying to get it configured there for our size here. Again, it's an older game, so it's going to need a bit of fixing up because we're not playing this on a CRT. Thank you so much. Yeah, I got this. It's just, like I said, an older game. Well, it probably thinks that I'm playing it on a CRT, so those chunky big screens. I just need to edit a transform here. Alright. Ah, and then... shows model. Okay, then I have to come back to the game. Let me try one more thing. Hmm. I think, okay, it's weird because they're very older games, but they're like 1990. But we have games, I think because it's just old, maybe the way that they created it is weird. Because this was made in 1990, so 1990. So I just think maybe because it's just so old, it's just stuck in its resolution, and it won't showcase as another resolution. It's probably stuck in the CRT resolution, and that's okay. Like, totally, that's okay. So what we're going to do is we'll just pass those again. They're the older ones of the bunch because they were made in 1990. Like, it said May 1990, so they're very older games, so they may just need a bit more, I may just have to emulate them if it needs to. But that's okay, we'll just start with Sherlock Holmes, Consulting Detective. So this is the game that is Sherlock Holmes, Consulting Detective, and it has a mix of live, it has a mix of live action, like videos inside of it, but also it has, the mystery to it. So it's like back in the day when they had the live action, um, the live Now, we're becoming detectives. It's like back in the day when they had the live action parts of the game, like the live movies and stuff with the game. So we're going to play top one. Let's see here. Well, the reason we're doing Consulting Detective 2 is because Consulting Detective 1 came out in 1989. And I'm concerned that it may not play all the way, which so I'm going to get it loaded up here for us to play. you guys see it? You guys see the game? Oh my goodness. What I had to do was I had to make a new source for window capture because I guess because it's an older game, game capture wasn't locating it. So what I had to do was make another source called window capture 3. And I went to edit, transform, edit transform. What I had to make the position of the size a bit different. So that's why you'll see it in the top left, because that's the positional alignment that they would have it in without it cutting out or trying to stretch itself. It's very, so yeah, don't worry. Okay, you guys can see it. Okay, wunderbar. Oh yeah, if you guys ever have a problem with another game, but it's not showing up on game capture, try window capture and try to adjust the size is better to make sure that it's showing up. Um, okay, so we have some games, some stories here. Okay, now the sound. Um, Great Marine moment. Yeah, yeah, like I've heard about the history of changing the size of things. Have you guys ever wanted it to look like this? I don't mind you messaging me on Fixer or here or just asking in the chat the size of positions I have. But, like I said, let's get back into the game here. Okay, so we have oh, okay, instructions. I think because it's, okay, so let me see here. Okay, so yeah, this is Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective 4, because again, Consulting Detective 1 was made around 1989/1990, but they have to get some things fixed with that, so don't worry about playing that on next game of APAC. Um, so instructions here, let's go instructions. I think this is like point to click. Um, but let me see.
If
Instructions.
you need help, all you have to do is ask.
Oh, okay,
And
turn
this, dear
off.
player, is the place to do exactly
Raising down
that.
the decibels. Now you're okay.
Choose this horse and carriage after you have chosen your destination from either your notebook or the directory. It will take you where you want to go.
Okay, so that's like our map then.
When you believe you have directed Holmes to all of the right and proper places, and you have enough information to name the murderer and the motive, choose this icon.
Okay, so that's like we found all the mysteries, all the hints, but we're ready to make a decision.
The Baker Street Irregulars are an untidy bunch of young street boys who happen to be on the proper side of the law. They have an undeniable knack for bringing back priceless bits of information in a fraction of the time it would take Holmes or myself. When you want to summons them, first choose the destination from your notebook or the directory, then choose the irregulars. In no time at all, they will return with whatever details they were able to unearth.
I have to admit, the music is kind of catchy. I'm over here dancing to it. Like, that's the thing with games back in the day. Like, they didn't have to be such good sounds with them, but those people totally, like, went over 200% in making the soundtrack for the sound parties. Like, like over here just bobbing to it.
Choosing this icon puts a notebook at your fingertips. I believe you'll find that your notebook is your greatest detective tool. Use it to keep track of names and places that you believe you might want to investigate. When you do decide upon a person to question or a place to research, first go to your notebook, choose the appropriate name, then choose the horse and carriage. You will be off and running. Because the Baker Street regulars are often critical to solving a case, I've included them in your notebook. Use them wisely.
Okay, so like our journal. Yeah, the music is always amazing on the CG games, or, oh no, that's OG. Yeah, it's like, even though they didn't have to go so amazing with them, they did. But even if it was the bare minimum, they added that to the game. And I only have to give them congratulations on that. Because many times it was their original composition for the game, or or kind of a remix composition of something, but entire way, but you can feel like it's their part entire. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's so true. Why did Tetris have to be so amazing with their soundtrack? From the Commodore or the DOS or the Microsoft and Apple games of it, the soundtrack for them, it was always so amazing. And this is a game about matching clocks. Like, seriously. Oh, let's have a game like Tetris. Oh, let's give it a soundtrack. Oh yeah, let's just make that one of the best classical or baroque music soundtracks ever. Like, seriously. Okay, so map, final verdict, I guess the telegram for the boys, I guess will tell us hints, and then our journal, and what are you?
This gives you access to the London Directory. In it, you will find everyone you need to query in your attempt to solve these cases. The directory is also the source for your notebook. Simply choose a name or place in the directory and drag it over into your notebook for easy reference. You may also use the directory much like your notebook. First, choose your intended destination, then choose the horse and carriage, and you'll have another way to get from one place to the next.
Okay, so like our contact book. But, oh, that was a lot. I may have to re-click that.
This gives you access to the London Directory. In it, you will find everyone you need to query in your attempt to solve these cases. The directory is also the source for your notebook. Simply choose a name or place in the directory and drag it over into your notebook for easy reference. You may also use the directory much like your notebook. First, choose your intended destination, then choose the horse and carriage, and you'll have another way to get from one place to the next.
Okay, so it's like an address book, but also like fast travel. Okay, so if you need to go to a certain place, you can go on it directly, and then place it over the horse and carriage to fast travel. So it's like an address book, like the address book. I know in North America, you guys have something called the yellow or white pages. Over here we call them the bone book pages. It's like that, the bone book pages. Yeah, I know that was a lot, but I understand it. So to better explain it, this book is like an address book or a phone book. So if there's a location in a phone book you want to go, you click it. The place you want to go will put it over the horse and carriage to fast travel. But also it has the names of people. But you can click that name and put it in your journal to the left here. So that way you can have it for your notes. So it's like fast traveling, but also a directory.
Mr. Holmes' files provide a wealth of information that he has been collecting over the years. Some of it is quite pertinent to the various cases, and some of it offers simply a fascinating and informative sidelight. When you want to access the files, first choose the destination from your notebook or the directory, then choose here when you want to see what relevant information Holmes might already have at hand.
I can love this music. Okay, so it's like a case file. So like a case file for everything of what Holmes has himself personally collected.
What he found in the Thames, read it in the Times.
Holmes has always claimed that the newspaper is a treasure of information when one can read between the lines. When you are ready to consult the Times, you may of course have a look at your paper copy or simply choose here for a close-up view.
Okay, so the newspaper is like giving us a recap on what we're doing. Okay, so the newspaper is like a recap, but also look for important things. Like back in the day, these, like I'm 31 years old, older, I don't know. Back in the day, these days had you thinking, or they had you remembering what things are for. Let's do the introduction.
London is not a beautiful city. Under the soot that covers its buildings is a teeming mass of 4 million souls trying to survive, mostly off of each other. You see it in the paper every day. Thankfully, we have the London Times to keep us informed of all these troubling activities with an unbiased eye and razor-sharp accuracy. We find this publication to be of invaluable assistance in our investigations, and I'm sure you will as well. Among the forces of evil which run rampant in this city, there are also, thankfully, two groups of individuals who will aid us in our cause. As we do, they attempt to right wrongs and restore harmony and civility to the streets of London. The first of these groups is a ragtag association of young ruffians. I call them the Baker Street Irregulars. Don't let them fool you. They may be scruffy and ill-bred, but they are on the right side of the law. They can go everywhere, see everything, and overhear everyone. They are my eyes and ears in the streets of London, unquestionably a tremendous asset in our work. They will help us in our investigations if they can. The other group is a far more civilized collection of gentlemen and institutions. I call them the Baker Street Regulars. They, too, will be extremely useful in our work. At the start of any investigation, do keep in mind that it is a capital mistake to theorize before one has data. Unwittingly, one begins to twist facts to suit theories instead of theories to suit facts. The people and places to whom I will now introduce you will help us to collect the facts. May we use them wisely. Come, the game's afoot.
Oh, that hole in the back. That's only a tale of his time. Because if I remember, these are taken around the late 1800s. So like 1890 and so forth, up into the early 1900s. Alright. Okay. Shinwell, O'Brien, Hollis, Ellis, Murray, Pike, Hogg, Meek, Sherlock Holmes, City Hall, maybe?
Edward Hall is a young barrister whom you will find on most days at the Old Bailey. He's a cut above the other unimaginative members of his profession.
Holmes, don't you think you should explain to them the difference between a barrister and a solicitor?
Yes, of course, Watson. A solicitor handles the routine legal business of our society. If you do not have to go before a court, you will have no need for a barrister. If you must go before a court, then your solicitor would engage the services of a barrister. Porky is not a pillar of society, I dare say, but he is a man who has learned from his mistakes and is trying to start a new life. Although he is no longer in prison, he is still behind bars, or shall I say, a bar.
Jolly good one, Holmes.
Yes, Watson. Well, the bar in question is the Raven and Rat Inn. Porky is the proprietor. He has been of great help to us in the past, and I expect he will continue to be in the future.
Oh, wow. And another thing about these games back in the day, you could get lost in the menu or with the additional options. Because we're not in the game yet, but we're here just noticing the people of this game, or introduction to Sherlock Holmes, or how to work our controls. Like, this is the thing from back in the day. Like, the menu, it had its own flair, its own personality, as some might say.
Sir Jasper is the chief medical examiner for St. Bartholomew's Hospital. He is London's greatest forensic pathologist. You can depend on him for all the technical details that can be obtained from any corpse whose cause of death is in question.
Let's see. Let's try and
This gentleman is the head chemist at Scotland Yard Criminology Laboratory. It is rumored that Murray lives in the lab. He is eternally bent over one of his tables trying to extract the history of a crime from the physical evidence he's been given. You can learn much from old HR if you can follow the twists and jumps of his thinking.
Okay, let's see.
Quentin Hogg is a crime reporter for the Police Gazette. He is an ex-police inspector who found the environment of Scotland Yard less than stimulating. He has a strong deductive mind and is a very good resource. Now here is a person who usually gets in the last word. Langdale Pike is a human reference work on social scandal, especially on the London scene. He contributes bits of gossip to the garbage papers that cater to an inquisitive public. Mr. Henry Ellis is the foreign news editor for the London Times. He is a great reservoir of information of what's happening on the continent. He also has an interest in crime news. Ellis is always happy to help when he can, but you must be careful of what you tell him, or you might find what you've confided to him in the next day's Times.
It's okay. We're here in the main menu. What I was saying is that back in the day as well, you would get stuck on the main menu, because you would be in the main menu, but it has so much stuff like instructions, introduction, information about the game and stuff that you would read or listen to. Like, you could spend some time in the menu or the options before even playing the game.
Head clerk Disraeli O'Brien is your contact in the Office of Records. The Office of Records contains legal records, both criminal and civil, as well as state papers. I think you'll find O'Brien to be a walking, or should I say sitting, encyclopedia of the office's affairs.
Okay, so I think that's everyone here. So if you're just joining us, Meek is the doctor, O'Brien is with the case files, Paul is a mariner, Shinbed is the local pub commoner, Ellis is a more archaeologist, Murray is a scientist, Pike is more of an investigator, Hogg is in charge of the police department. Okay, so let's get into the game here. We have 3 chapters to choose from. We have the Bull Lions, the Pilfered Paintings, the Murder Munitions Magnet. Which one do you want to do, chat? The murder. Okay, you want to do the murdered munitions magnet.
Your housekeeper let me in. I hope I'm not disturbing you. I'm Richard Allen.
You're not disturbing us in the least, Mr. Allen. Sit down. How may we be of assistance?
My brother, Courtney Allen, was the president of the Grant Arms Company.
Found shot to death in the alley behind his office on the evening of March 9th. My condolences.
Thank you. It was all so terribly tragic. Scotland Yard put it down as a simple robbery by person or persons unknown. But I don't believe it, and that's why I'm here. Mr. Holmes, will you please take on this case?
It has some interesting elements. Tell me, Mr. Allen, what sort of man was your brother?
Courtney was a dynamic, charismatic individual. Always busy, forever on the move.
I knew a chap like that in the service. He was quite a charmer with the ladies.
Yes, and so was Courtney. No woman could resist him.
Wasn't your brother married?
Yes. Poor Beatrice.
Then I take it he had other romantic involvements at the time of his death?
Well, yes, I believe he did. But I haven't a clue as to the lady or ladies in question might have been.
With your brother dead, who has assumed the presidency?
Courtney's handpicked successor, Philip Marlowe, the second vice president.
Doesn't that sort of transfer of power usually go to the senior vice president?
Well, usually. But the senior vice president is Lord Ragland, who runs the Devereux Street plant. He's a brilliant technician, but a most inept businessman.
Who inherited your brother's stock?
His wife, Beatrice. It's also very upsetting.
There, Mr. Allen.
I assume those are the personal effects found with your brother?
Yes, there wasn't much. A few folders, his keychain, his gold wedding band, and a small notebook. I did notice, however, that his pocket watch was missing. Anything of interest, Mr. Holmes?
They appear to be of a primarily personal nature. This one is empty. What does SP10 indicate, Mr. Allen?
I haven't a notion.
There are 2 entries on the day of your brother's death. Captain Egan, 8:30 p.m. The other entry is plant, 8 a.m. Surprise. There also appears to be a note stuck in the back of the book. Written in your brother's hand. It says, meet me tonight at Spaniards at 10 o'clock, followed by the initials A.M.
Spaniards. I positively salivate over their paella.
Yes, it is very good indeed. Thank you, Mr. Allen. I think we have enough to begin our investigation.
Oh, oh boy. Well, Hugo, you chose the good one. Okay, so his brother was shot, his pocket watch is missing, his company would go to someone, but he was supposed to meet someone also going to the back street too. Hmm, okay. Hmm.
If you need help, all you have to do is ask. And this, dear player,
Your housekeeper let me in. I hope I'm
Okay, let's go back. I may have to hear it again.
Your housekeeper let me in. I hope I'm not disturbing you. I'm Richard Allen.
You're not disturbing us in the least, Mr. Allen. Sit down. How may we be of assistance?
My brother, Courtney Allen, was the president of the Grant Arms Company.
Found shot to death in the alley behind his office on the evening of March 9th.
A most inept businessman.
What does SP10 indicate, Mr. Allen?
I haven't a notion.
There are two entries on the day of your brother's death. Captain Egan, 8:30 p.m. The other entry is plant, 8 a.m., surprise.
Okay, let's see, Allen. Richard Allen.
all this way and not a clue to help us solve this case. How terribly disappointing.
Okay, here to Woody Allen Estate. Amateur Pulitzer colorist Ultimates prize winning binoculars. Yeah, I think we have our notebook. No. No. God damn it. I closed stop the game. One moment. Okay, so quit means quit. Oh, hold on. Let me get the game back up.
Your housekeeper let me in. I hope I'm not disturbing you.
Oh, there's another Richard. Okay, let's try again.
We're sorry to inconvenience you, Mr. Camp, but we need to ask you a few questions.
Excuse me, beastly cold. Of course, I'd be happy to help. What would you like to know?
Specifically, why you were removed from Project 10.
Lord Raglan simply assigned me elsewhere. Since Project Number 10 was well along, he felt I might be more useful in other areas.
Is that all he told you?
Well, he also mentioned that my visits to the French embassy had been misinterpreted in some quarters.
What brings you to the embassy so frequently?
I am secretly engaged to Annette Zobar, daughter of the Vice Consul. Lovely girl. Unfortunately, her father, Paul Zobar, is not awfully fond of me. Her uncle, Emile, however, is sympathetic to us. Since I work for an arms company and he is the military attaché, my visits there are ostensibly to see him.
Have you ever discussed Project 10 with Monsieur Zobar?
Oh, no, I would never.
You should cut back on your smoking until you are well.
But I don't smoke.
Then to whom do these belong?
Oh, I bought those as a birthday gift to Emile Zobar. Burns and Hill are his favorite.
Oh, okay. So Mr. Cobb has a cold, and he knows about Special Project 10, or SP10. Remember in the video? In the introduction, they talked about Special Project or SP10, but he has a cold. But he also has cigarettes, but those cigars are for someone else. I think he was going to give those to, Mr. Allen before he died. Hmm. So, what do we have now? One, Mr. Camp knows about Special Project 10. Two, he hasn't, or he stated he hasn't told anyone. Three, he has a cold. Or he doesn't smoke, but he has cigars or they permit as a gift. Who's the one? Hmm. Hmm. Okay, I think we're going to need a captain. So I'm going to go to the directory and get Mr. Egan. I think we need to get with the captain.
8 months ago, Allen came to this office with the designs for the revolutionary new naval gun, most secret. The design was approved by the Navy.
What about the meeting you had planned with Mr. Allen for the evening of March 9th?
He never appeared, but you probably already know that.
Quite.
Actually, I knew nothing of what we were to discuss, but I've kept the wire he sent me that morning. Meet tonight, 8:30, your office. Call out the guard, pounce at 10. Quite vague, don't you think?
Does it mean anything to you, Captain Egan?
I think Allen was worried about security for project number 10. Of course, I put some of my best men on it right away.
Did you come up with anything?
Richard Camp, a development engineer on project number 10, was discovered bringing boxes and bundles to the French embassy. Emile Zobar, French military attaché, has his office there.
So you think Mr. Allen had information implicating Camp in a security breach of Project 10?
I did, still do. But Lord Ragland, head of the project, assured me that Allen's security fears were unfounded.
You've spoken with Ragland since Allen's death.
Yes, we met on March 11th. As a precaution, he assured me he would remove Camp from the project.
Can you think of anyone else who might pose a security risk to the project?
Yes. For now, I have my men investigating Zobar, von Schulenburg, Delgera, and Meshkov. Their governments would all have great interest in our new gun.
And what have you uncovered
Remember
so
those
far?
names.
Unfortunately, nothing.
Remember those names.
Yet.
Okay, he said 4 no names. Remember those names. Remember those names. I need to write that down. Captain. Okay, well, serious here. Okay, let's see. We need more information about it. Is the cigarette box is new? It can probably be a gift, but if it's open and he doesn't smoke, it's suspicious. That's from Hugo. You know what? That's true, but, I know some people who make sure that they haven't gotten ripped off. They will review the gift. So that could have been it. Maybe he got the item, but he previewed it. Like how if I send someone a birthday gift and it needs to be wrapped so I get it shipped to me, I'm going to check it first to make sure that there is nothing wrong with it. So it could also be that maybe it's open because he was inspecting it to make sure that it was up to par. So it could be suspicious, but it also could be him expecting a merchandise. But you're onto something. Hmm. Okay, but I tried to write down those four names, but I got them written down here. Also, he said that someone was being investigated because of bringing in boxes to the bridge assembly or the bridge building. So we have someone seen carrying a lot of items into a bridge headquarters, but it seems suspicious that there. Oh yeah, that's weird. Oh, hmm. I think we need to go to the Great Arms. We need to go to the Great Arms or Great Arm Munition. I think that's what we need to do. Hmm. Isn't it? Yeah, great. Great. What is great? Hmm. Okay, ads are going to start soon in less than 5 minutes. Yeah, let's go through the company.
Mr. Lindhart, I understand Mr. Allen was scheduled to meet with Captain Egan at 8:30.
Oh, yes. Egan's the artillery officer for the Admiralty. I saw him leave for the meeting around 8. He said goodnight and went out to the back door to the alley where he always leaves to catch a cab.
Do you know what the meeting was about?
Not that particular meeting, but Mr. Allen and Captain Egan did meet often to discuss the progress of their new special project, Project 10. I did find it curious that the meeting on the 9th was scheduled for the evening. All the others occurred during the day.
I imagine a person in his position must have been extremely concerned about security.
Indeed he was. He called in Lord Ragland after he noticed several strange people hanging around the Deverell Street plant. All the technical data, blueprints, that sort of thing are housed there.
I see.
Oh, so it's a high
I
security
understand you are now
area.
secretary to the new president, Mr. Marlowe.
Yes. He was Mr. Allen's hand-picked successor, which perfectly illustrates the type of man Mr. Allen was.
What do you mean?
Only that there was no love lost between them, and yet recognizing Marlowe's outstanding business skills, he named him as his heir, so to speak.
Oh, an heir. Okay, so someone, we have Egan as well. So someone must have been named heir to all of that. Oh wow. Oh, okay. Also, you have weird and shady people near a high security area where there are blueprints and high security items. Yeah, that's weird. just look up Egan. Captain Derek. Okay. 9. The French Embassy.
Were you able to talk with Zobar?
I talked with a Zobar, but not the one we were looking for. The chap I spoke with was Paul Zobar. He informed me that his brother, Emile, was at home right now.
Did he know anything about Richard Camp?
If he did, he was not forthcoming. In fact, he seemed most flustered at the very mention of Camp's name.
Okay. The plot thickens. There are 2 Zobars, and mentioning Camp's name made him flustered, even though it wasn't the right Zobar. We may need to go back to Cap. Back to Richard.
We're sorry to inconvenience you, Mr. Camp, but we need to ask you a few questions.
Okay, it has the same thing. Alright, as are starting in less than 1 minute and 10 seconds. Heads up, ads are starting in 1 minute and 10 seconds. Oh, I know where we need to go to. See here. This one. I think this is the one that has the high security.
Sorry, Lord Raglan isn't available at the moment. Perhaps I can help you. I'm his assistant, Walter Kehoe.
Mr. Keogh, can you tell me anything about Mr. Allen's visit here on the morning of March 9th?
He came to see Lord Raglan, but he weren't here.
Do you know the purpose of his visit?
Now, I wouldn't be knowing their business, but it was most likely about Special Project Number 10. It being secret and all.
And when did Lord Raglan finally arrive?
He never did.
So then did Mr. Allen leave?
Not straight away. He said he had some details to attend to. I went back to the plant, and about a quarter of an hour later, Mr. Allen calls me and hands me a note. Says it came for Lord Raglan while I was down on the line. He wanted to make sure I got it to him. He also said I shouldn't mention his visit.
I'd appreciate it if you'd take me to someone who could shed some light on Special Project 10.
Well, that would be Richard Camp. But he left early today. He wasn't feeling well.
After we already spoke with Richard. Okay. Alright, outbreak is starting. So we're going to get to this after outbreak. I'm going to stretch and also get a snack. So outbreak. Going to stretch and also snack. So yeah. Alright, outbreak. Okay, so I think we all should be back now. Welcome back. So we need to find Egan, because he seems to be the central focus here. He was supposed to meet with Alan. He has information, but people have been seen him doing weird things as well. Something's not adding up with him. Hmm. Yeah, I think we need to go with one of those names. For those four names that we were given, I think one was an Expector. Not finding him. I don't see him. Oh, do I need to go by his last name? Let's try. Oh, there he is. Okay, there he is.
I'm surprised you're wasting your time on this one, Holmes. It was a simple robbery. We found Allen dead in an alley behind Grant Arms. Wallet empty, gold watch missing, briefcase open, contents askew but not stolen. It's an open and shut case.
Was anything else found at the scene that could be of use to us, Inspector?
I doubt it. Nothing but a couple of tin cans and an old cigarette butt.
B&H.
What does that mean?
You don't know? Why, then I must assume you also do not know why the end is evenly pinched all round. Perhaps you should read my monograph on the subject of 100 most commonly found cigarette butts.
So this may be a more high-end cigarette. Okay, so we have Egan, we have Mr. Allen, we have the heir, we have the victim, we have Mr. Cobb. Zobar. Was it Emil or Emile? Zobar? Emil. Let's go there.
Would you care for a cigarette? They're Burns and Hill's Imperials. A wonderful smoke.
Thank you, no. You really shouldn't be smoking in your condition.
It is nothing, just a little bit of a cold.
Tell me, Monsieur Zobar, where were you on the evening of March 9th?
Ah, yes. That was the night of Monsieur Allen's death. I was at Simpson's, beating the pants off of Alfie, the so-called chess champion.
Are you acquainted with a Mr. Richard Camp?
Oh, but of course. He's employed at Grant Arms Company, and he's secretly engaged to my beautiful niece, Annette.
Why must the lovebirds be so secretive?
Because my brother, Annette's father, has an inexplicable dislike for the English.
And you, Monsieur Zobar, do you share your brother's feelings?
Oh, mon Dieu, no! I admire you English very much.
Has Mr. Camp ever spoken with you about the special project on which he was working for Grant?
Oh, never. Nor would I ever ask him about such a confidential matter. He has a profound sense of loyalty. That's why I admire him so much.
Okay. Okay. This. Wait, a chess player. Okay. Let's go back to the bar. He talked about a chess player.
Would you care for you really?
Where were you on the evening of March 9th?
Ah, yes. That was the night of Monsieur Allen's death. I was at Simpson's, beating the pants off of Alfie, the so-called chess champion.
Are you acquainted with a Mr. Richard Camp?
Alvid. Okay, Alvid. That may be his first name. Annette. Okay. Line. Okay, let's see here. So you have Mr. Emile Solar, you have his brother, you have his niece, who likes Mr. Allen Hickman, who also doesn't have the highest regard for the English, but you also have this A. Campbell, who's been acting very strange as well. But at the crime scene, it had B&H, but we just heard Emile Solar state B&H's brand, so it seems it's a French style of cigarette. But also, as the other Solar is not here. Something's telling me you need to go to Raglan. I feel like Solar could be the murderer. But remember, they were saying Raglan. I think we need to go to Raglan.
Lord Ragland, on the night of Mr. Allen's murder, he had an appointment with Captain Egan.
Yes, Egan's our purchasing officer for naval artillery. We've been working on a secret project for the Navy, and Courtney was concerned about one of the engineers being a security risk.
Which one?
It was Richard Camp. When Courtney and I discussed it, I gave no credence to the idea.
Well, tell me, Lord Ragland, what sort of fellow is Richard Camp?
He's splendid, really. Not a mark on his record. But as a concession to both Courtney and Egan, I removed him from the project and placed him elsewhere.
Interesting aroma. What brand is it?
It's Burns and Hills.
Okay. Raglan said he didn't have time to talk to us, the telegram. Okay. Lord Robert Raglan is a collector of antiquated firearms. He is the son of the Duke of Amuro, a noted art collector and former secretary of former affairs. Okay, so that's interesting. What I'm going to do is to go back to Raglan and hear all of it.
Lord Ragland, on the night of Mr. Allen's murder, he had an appointment with Captain Egan.
Yes, Egan's our purchasing officer for naval artillery. We've been working on a secret project for the Navy, and Courtney was concerned about one of the engineers being a security risk.
Which one?
It was Richard Camp. When Courtney and I discussed it, I gave no credence to the idea.
Well, tell me, Lord Ragland, what sort of fellow is Richard Camp?
He's splendid, really. Not a mark on his record. But as a concession to both Courtney and Egan, I removed him from the project and placed him elsewhere.
Interesting aroma. What brand is it?
It's Burns and Hills Imperials. It's their newest. Would you care for one?
No, thank you. Lord Ragland, after Mr. Allen's death, were you disappointed at not being named president?
Not a bit. I'm quite happy in my work in the technical areas. Administrative matters hold no interest to me. Besides, one of Marlowe's conditions when he first came on was that he be Courtney's successor when Courtney retired. This is all such a tragedy, don't you agree? But if you'll excuse me, I have a few business matters to attend to. You know how it is.
Quite.
Okay. Marlowe. So I think we need to speak to Marlowe. Yeah.
Mr. Marlowe, I'm investigating the murder of Courtney Allen. May I ask you some questions?
Certainly. But at the moment, I'm much more concerned about the missing plans for our secret weapons project.
There is a bit of tackle. The plans were stolen. Okay. Nothing on file. Okay, nothing on file. Go back to him.
Ask you some questions.
Concerned about the missing plans for our secret weapons project.
And what project might that be?
Special project number 10.
Whatever do you suppose happened to them?
I really have no idea, but that's a question for Scotland Yard to answer.
Mr. Marlowe, do you recall where you were on the evening of the 9th?
Why, yes. I was having dinner with Sir Clayton Partridge. We had played a round of golf earlier in the day.
I see. At Mr. Allen's death, I understand you automatically became the new president of Grant Arms Company. Is that correct?
Yes. Allen and I had an understanding on that score. Upon his retirement, I would take the office. As a matter of fact, that condition was the key reason I joined the company 3 years ago.
Okay, now this is getting interesting because there's so many people who put up in them with their own motive. I think we need to go to Partridge. Partridge, Clayton.
What a magnificent gun.
Thank you. It's one of my favorite for quail hunting.
It wouldn't by chance be a Grant Arms Company model?
Oh, why, yes, it is. They make the best guns, you know. And fortunately for me, my old friend Philip Marlowe is Grant's new president. So I get a bit of a break on the price.
That's a spot of good luck. Tell me, Sir Partridge, when was it you last saw Mr. Marlowe?
Played golf with him the very day of Courtney Allen's murder.
When did you finish your last round?
Oh, late afternoon, and then we had supper together. It must have been midnight when we parted company.
So it couldn't have been. It could be. But, Okay, so we have to take out Marlowe. Because, remember what he said, they did a round of golf, and they stayed with one another until dinner, which would be around evening. Now, our victim, I think, was murdered around 8 p.m. Marlowe was with his person around dinner. But remember what he said? He said they didn't depart until evening. So, it couldn't have been Marlowe in literal terms that killed him. Now, it doesn't dismiss a perhaps hired hitman, but it seems that Marlowe would have been the one who shot the trigger. So yeah, it physically wasn't Marlowe, but he could have been on it. If I remember, someone was having an affair with the Countess von Schuleberry. Schuleberry? Was it Countess von Schuleberry? Not seeing it. I think we need to go back to Rackman. Something's telling me to go back to Rackman.
Lord Ragland, on the night of Mr. Allen's murder, he had an appointment with Captain Egan.
Yes, Egan's our purchasing officer.
Purchasing. Egan is the purchasing officer, so we need to go back to Egan. He said purchasing. Now the captain wouldn't speak to us, then my ear will take a bath, okay? Artillery officer? I don't know, I feel like it was Raglan. But we need to speak to the other Zobar. Let's try.
I can't believe we came all this way when there are more important things to pursue.
Indeed, Holmes, I don't know what got into us.
It's because remember what they're saying. They saw someone, shady people near the high security area of the factory. They saw one of their comrades with boxes and entry in the French headquarters. I think Raglan was trying to bribe or maybe sell. I think Raglan maybe was trying to sell the plans. But why would he be in the French headquarters unless he's like trying to sell them to a dictator. Because remember what he said they were for? Naval firearms and firepower. That's what I'm thinking. Because remember what he said, purchasing person. And we've been seeing someone go in and out of each headquarters with boxes. I've also seen that same person as soon as it was told that someone was murdered. He stayed longer, but also didn't want to leave, which is weird. But also the funds were stolen. BH, that's a French cigarette. And we know Emile Savard, also, I think Ragnan or someone else, are seen in the French headquarters. And we know it couldn't be the guy with the cold, here. But let's see, can we go back to Raglan? Maybe he's there now.
Lord Ragland, on the night of Mr. Allen's murder, he had an appointment with Captain Egan.
Yes, Egan's our purchasing officer for naval...
Jordan, Clara, James, Oswald. Obituaries don't have them. It's a bit after. Domestic appliances. I think it's Raglan. Yeah, you know what? I think it's Raglan. But I want to look at something else in her notes here.
The possibility of foreign involvement struck me as soon as I heard of his death. But so far, all I know is what the Yard has released, which as usual amounts to sweet nothing.
The Yard tells him. Okay. So he thinks it's bad. That is foreign involvement. You know what? We're going to go with it.
Hear ye, hear ye. The Queen's Court stands in order. So it's you again. Well, it's always a pleasure to have this court graced with your presence. So I see you're here to solve the murder of Courtney Allen. Weren't satisfied with Scotland Yard's robbery theory, I see? All right, then. Who murdered Courtney Allen? Remember, you're to choose from either your notebook or the directory.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's Raglan. It has to be him. Lord Robert Raglan.
How right you are. Good work. Now, tell the court, if you will, why Courtney Allen was murdered.
because someone wanted to purchase those plans. Yeah. Lord, or it could be Todd. Was he paid to assassinate? But also, have you guys noticed the way he smokes? He smokes a bit funny. He doesn't use his hands. It looks like those old style cigar. That's why it was pinched. Okay. So remember what Sherlock Holmes said is pinch. What will pinch if someone was pitching it, or if someone was using a cigarette holder like Lachlan was? Hence, they couldn't find any prints on it. Ah. I think Alan knew of it and was trying to sell it. Because, yeah, Alan had learned of Lord Lachlan's plans to sell SP-10 to the foreign power.
Good show. Now tell me, what was the significance of Special Project SP-10?
It was naval. Yeah. It was like a naval torpedo, naval gun.
By George, I think you've got it. Now tell us, if you can, what transpired at Spaniard's Inn.
So, it could have been Marlowe, but Marlowe was with Nightline. It couldn't have been Marlowe. He was with someone else. For the plans. No, the Germans weren't involved. Meshkov. Courtney Allen. Walter. No. They would have been spies. Beatrice. Fine. Isn't the name Annette? I think it's Anne. I think it's this. Let's just hope it's right. Because there was no talk about Germans or the other ones.
Yes, you've got it. Now tell us, what was Richard Camp actually doing during his numerous visits to the French embassy?
He had gifts, but he has a fiancée. At first I thought maybe it was stuff to murder him, but now that I'm thinking about it, I think he was just visiting his fiancée, because Annette Sobar, he's there as well. We could have talked to her, but I think he was just visiting his fiancée.
Fine detective work. Now for your final question. A cigarette was found at the scene of the crime. Why, pray tell, was it pinched evenly all around?
It was a cigarette holder. He was having one in his hand when we went home. Because if it was a bite, it would have had saliva. It's not the character, is it? Worse to luck. It's a cigarette holder.
Excellent job. You've solved the case to my satisfaction. Court is recessed. Until the next time, of course.
I think we did it. Did it freeze? Nine, it's okay, it's okay. We found out who did it. It was Lord Raglan. Lord Raglan was going to sell the plans of Special Project 10 to Meshko. But the reason that he saw that other guy, Mr. Kamp, going in and out of the foreign embassy with all of those items is, remember, he has a fiancée, Annette Zolbar. She lives there. They were gifts. They were gifts. And Raglan also helps with the purchasing. And it was a French naval gun that Mr. Allen was trying to make.
My word, dear Holmes. Perhaps we are in the wrong business altogether. If we had been top-notch, we should have cracked this case in less points. I think I'll ring up the university immediately and see if we might enroll in a detective course.
Lord Ragland.
Most shocking, isn't it?
I must commend you for following your instincts, Mr. Allen. Because you doubted Scotland Yard's original findings regarding your brother's death, we were able to catch the murderer.
But tell me, Mr. Holmes, how did you solve this case?
In the first place, I found it unlikely that a common criminal would have overlooked a valuable gold ring. In the second place, simple robbery would not explain the missing contents of the SP-10 folder. Those documents were central to the murder. It then became a simple matter to cull 2 suspects from the customer list of Burns & Hill Imperial brand smokers.
Burns & Hill?
But that was the brand of cigarette found at the scene, and the list we obtained had quite a few names. It was fascinating to see the way Holmes narrowed it down.
You flatter me, Watson. It was nothing, really. In the first place, I knew the murderer had to be someone aware of Courtney Allen's habit of exiting his office via the alleyway. That made the most likely suspect a co-worker. Of the gentlemen on the list, only Lord Ragland and Richard Camp fit that category.
But how did you narrow it down to Ragland?
Elementary, Mr. Allen. Mr. Camp does not smoke. He purchased the cigarettes as a present for Emile Zobar.
But why did Ragland do it?
After learning of your brother's surprise visit to the plant, Ragland knew the proverbial jig was up. He realized Courtney had removed the plans for Project 10 from the safe, the very same plans he had intended to sell that night to the Russian attaché. The only solution was to kill your brother and reclaim the plans. Case closed.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes. Now, Courtney may no longer be with us, but it does serve as a small consolation to know that his murderer will get his due.
Indeed. And we may all rest more easily knowing that England will suffer no more breaches of security at the hands of that traitor. Isn't that so, Holmes?
Quite, Watson. Quite.
Wow. Okay, let's see here. So yeah, it was a case of selling firearms plans to the Russians. Okay, well, that's okay. You're back with us. So we have the Pilbert paintings and the Dual Lions. Which one do you want to play? The Dual Lions. Okay. Yes. Case solved. Save.
I dare say, Holmes, I believe someone has left a note upon our door. Dear
August
Mr. Holmes,
12,
please check today's
1888.
Times. I think you will find something of interest. Signed, a friend.
Okay, you saw the date, August 12, 1888. Okay. August, or the 17th. It could have been the 17th. Okay. Assumption, Margaret, the beloved, and only told her, Miss Mona Luisa, that the sweet greatly mourn. On the 14th Institute at the College Ibn the wife of C.W. M.A., a son of verse. On Wednesday, the 5th of August at Walsington, Tony, or Quay. Okay, or, okay, manages, okay. Let's see here. Goodness, I could read these throughout the stream. 14, widow in her 73rd year. 15th of August, second son in his 5th year. 17th, rapid consumption. You promised on your honor to communicate in August. I finally out will torture me thus. Trusting you as you ask, I have made engagements I cannot live in. Mind and body, I am seriously ill, so I reserve all this from you. In any case, tell me the worst. Suspense is torture, and not like you. Wow. Oh, taxidermist, big game or small. See Bilbo Underhill. Remember, Bilbo Underhill. Going to write that name down. 48 Learner's Terrace. Tonight, Mallory Keenan speaks on home rule at the Iris Social Club. Public welcome. Colleges, high school, entertainment. Oh, Roy Slade's Wild African Extravaganza opening tonight. Mr. Slade celebrated spectacle returns from Bin Hill Haven with horses, elephants, lions, owls, and performers. Walter's kitchen, O'Neill, remember that name. Slade and O'Neill, the great lion tamer. At each performance, Mr. O'Neill will give his marvelous exhibition with his full-grown lions, the most daring performance ever. Witness daily at 3 and 8 at English Circus. Okay, so we have Mr. O'Neill, and we have Mr. Slade, and the Hinglers. Remember that name, Hingler Circus. I think that's what he's talking about. O'Neill, Hingler's Circus. Huh. Royce Slade tonight at Hingler's. Evening parties. Okay, Slade. Roy Slade. Huh? Roy Slade. Okay, don't see him. Let's try O'Neill. Henry.
Sorry, sir, but you got the wrong O'Neill. I'm related. I haven't seen any of that nutty family since Grandma O'Neill's wake back in '74.
Okay, wrong O'Neill. Let's go back to the paper. Lions murdered in Hyde Park. No lions, both men, were found shot to death in Hyde Park in the early hours of this morning. Neither the constable who discovered the macabre sight nor the inspectors of Scotland Yard admit to any clues as to the perpetrator or motive for this bizarre affair. Oh. Slade, I talked about an O'Neill. Let's see. O'Neill. Oh, there's so many. Let's try Barry.
I can't believe...
Okay. Henry. No. Philip.
Well, he's...
Thomas.
What did you learn, Watson?
Not a thing.
There's so many O'Neills.
I was wondering if you could tell me anything about the death of your son's lions.
Oh, I wish we could. You know, Barry has traveled all over the world, and to think it would happen right here in London.
You've traveled with him, haven't you, Mrs. O'Neill?
Yes, I did. For all 5 years of our marriage. But I must say I'm getting a bit weary of it. I mean, really, Mr. Holmes, it's no life for a married man to go traipsing all round the world.
Of course it isn't. He should settle down and raise a family. My husband, Carol, could get Barry a job down at Rogers and Singer. Before I die, it would be nice to have one of my boys right nearby.
Where is your other son?
Last we heard, Thomas was in Oldenburg, Germany.
Germany? Roy Slade's show just finished a tour of Germany, did it not?
Yes, it did.
Tell me, did you happen to see your brother-in-law while you were there?
I certainly did not. But my husband might have. I can't really say for sure. You see, we don't talk about Thomas much.
I don't mean to pry, but may I ask why?
Oh, it's nothing really. You see, years ago, Thomas loaned Barry some money when he was trying to put together his animal show. And now Thomas believes that Barry is forever in his debt.
Okay, because they don't talk about Thomas. But they talk, isn't talk, yeah, talk suspicious. Let's go to Barry.
I can't believe...
Okay. Let's see what's on page 2. Because, let's see. Okay, there we go. Bird. Angel like yesterday, okay. The body of Stephen Myers was found. Oh. Another lion, but it's not the animal, it's someone. Shortly after 9 o'clock this morning, the body of Stephen Lyons was found lying in St. George's Road, Southwark. A short time previously, the deceased, a first officer for Aberdeen Shipping, was seen led by the direction there. The body was found by 4 women and a man. The body had been robbed, even to gold earrings, which the man had been observed to have been wearing. full women of ill fame, prostitutes. For the man described as a laborer, but multimedia associate of bad characters have been taken into custody on suspicions of having caused the sailor's death. There were no wounds on the body, but it is supposed that an overdose of some drug had been administered. So we have 2 animal lions dead, and then we have this lions, the sailor, dead as well. That is suspicious. Right here. Barry O'Neill, okay. Barry O'Neill, lion famer for Roy's baseball African extravaganza, was injured as the show was being unloaded at the London Docks. It is unfortunate that the spectacle, which will be at Hingler Circus for 3 weeks, will be opening tonight without one of its top field acts. Mr. Slade assured us, however, that the show will be buzzing with excitement as always. Oh, so there was an accident at the docks. So let's go to the London docks. See. Also, hands off. In the dance, when they're talking about consumption, they're talking about TB, tuberculosis. Because I don't want someone to think, oh, so they ate too much, or they ate too much and got a heart attack. 9. If it's saying consumption, that's tuberculosis or TB. So this person died of tuberculosis, also known as consumption. I think, like, there has to be a carriage company, because they're coming from the talks. There has to be a carriage company. Let's see, C. Carriage. There it is. Carriage.
Did the dispatcher show you the wagon, Holmes?
Not only did he show it to me, it revealed some very interesting clues.
Oh, do tell.
The wagon housed a cage, which of course was no surprise. The door was wide open. I found that the padlock had been sprung, left to dangle on the ring bolt. Blood was smeared all over the stairs leading in and all over the floor inside.
Oh, how perfectly nauseating.
It was. But what interested me even more was what lay in the corner of the cage.
What was it?
2 large leather collars. Attached to the end of each collar was a leather pouch. Both pouches had been ripped open and emptied.
What do you suppose it adds up to?
Time will tell, Watson. Time will tell.
Oh wow. Okay, this is getting interesting. Also, ads are starting in less than 6 minutes. So that tells us someone tried to get in there. They may have gotten attacked, and then they escaped out. But it also could have been Mr. O'Neill getting attacked, because they did say there was an accident at the talks. But then you have leather collars with little bags on them. Maybe to like pick up their poop, or maybe it's like bags with like their treats in it. But, interesting. I think we need an officer or an inspector. Let's go to the inspector here. Yeah.
Oh, no. What do you want? I thought I was going to have a nice, quiet day.
Somebody has asked us to check today's Times, and I was wondering if you'd be so kind as to tell me what you know about the mysterious deaths in the southeast.
There's nothing mysterious about it.
Okay, you sent the lions back and over to the carriage. Okay, we were just there. Oh no, it has to be okay. Let's go back to the inspector.
Oh, no. What do you want? I thought I was going to have a nice, quiet day.
Somebody has asked us to check today's Times, and I was wondering if you'd be so kind as to tell me what you know about the mysterious deaths in the southeast.
There's nothing mysterious about it. The culprits are in custody at Old Bailey. The victim's body is at Bart's.
And what about the murdered lions?
What of them?
What did you find at the scene of the crime? Holmes wants me to record it precisely.
What did I find? 2 lions shot a number of times, lying on top of one another. Wagon tracks leading away from the bodies. Footprints in the damp grass.
How many footprints, Inspector?
Oh, who knows? I believe there were 2 sets of boot prints, if you want to get specific. They entered and exited from the wagons. Now, will that do it for your Mr. Holmes, Dr. Watson?
Nearly. And what became of the wagon? Surely Holmes will want to know that.
Abandoned in Archbishop's Park. I had a man drive it over to our central carriage stables, largely so that someone could look after the horses.
Any motives for the murder?
Unfortunately, I haven't a clue.
Oh, okay, Hugo, this case is everywhere. Wow. Okay, okay. He had some good points, though. I think we need to go back to Carol. Something's telling me to go back to Mrs. Carol O'Neill. Something she said may have popped. Oh no, wait, I popped it here, I think. She said some names. I think we need Shinbell. Thomas. We already went to Thomas, he's not there. I think we need to go to Shinbell. That's the local regular casual club member. I think we need to talk to Porty, because He may know something.
Don't know a thing about them jungle-type lions, but I might be able to help you out with Stephen Lyons.
How so, Shinwell? Did you know him?
Well, he came in here from time to time whenever his ship was in port. Friend of mine up at Pentonville knew his brother. Says the two of them were lockpickers of the ace variety. Anyways, just yesterday afternoon, Stephen Lyons comes in here with some red-headed fella. About an hour after Lyons left, in comes Derek Quinn, and he struts right over to this red-headed bloke.
Who might Derek Quinn be?
Don't know, sir. But I've never liked the looks of him, I haven't.
What about Thomas O'Neill? Do you know anything about him?
Don't believe I've ever met him. But from what I hear about the bloke, I'm surprised I didn't run into him in the slammer.
What have you heard?
It's only rumor, mind you. But he's suspected of every jewel theft from here to Timbuktu. And they says he'd two-time you in the wink of an eye if it'd line his pockets.
And this is what added up to what Carol told us. Oh, Thomas would always want to ask for money or a loan, but the jewels they read in the newspaper add up to that. Now, Thomas isn't here, he's in Germany, from what Miss Carol told us, but they said another name.
From here to Timbuktu. About an hour after Lyons left, in comes Derek Quinn, and he struts right over.
Derek Quinn. Let's go talk to Derek Quinn. Derek, okay.
Oh, look. There is a note on the door that says that they will be out all afternoon. It appears we have wasted our time.
Excellent deduction, Watson. You're finally learning.
Okay, so he's not here. Okay. But wait, remember what Porky... Okay, we're going to pause it then. Ad break. Okay, I'm back. Oh, and then like, okay, So, remember, I'm going to go back to Porky, because he said something about, Stephen and Derek, here. He said they were locksmiths, like the whole locksmiths. Remember, he said that. He said both Stephen and Derek were like the locksmiths of the area. But you have Thomas, who is currently in Germany, with a jewelry. But you also have, remember in the newspaper, it talked about locks. And remember, Stephen Lyons and Derek were considered the locksmiths of the area. So, this is what I think happened. Stephen and Derek were trying to get to unlock the insane, maybe the lions, or something like that. Something happened because there was blood. What that would mean is that they were trying to get in, they got attacked, but then they left out when the lions escaped. But remember, Mr. O'Neill had an accident, and that could have been where he was attacked this way. So I think I think we need to look for Stephen. Nine, he's dead. He's dead. Let's go back to Porky. Porky says some red-haired chap spoke with the Ted guy the night before the murder. And remember, Shinbel or Porky, the pub owner or co-owner, has on time. He's an ex-con, but he's on the right road, so he's okay. But he knows those two. They even have a name called the locksmith people of the area. I think I know what.
Hear ye, hear ye. The Queen's Court stands in order. A pleasure to see you again. So it's the murder of the lions you're investigating, isn't it? Excellent. But first things first. Tell me, who murdered those unfortunate beasts? Remember, you're to choose either from your notebook or the directory.
It was Thomas. Thomas O'Neill.
Right you are. Now tell the court, why did Thomas O'Neill kill the lions?
Wait, remember, I just had an idea. They had pouches. What if instead those pouches wasn't for, like, treats, but jewels? What if the pouches had the jewels? Maybe he wanted to retrieve the Oldenburg jewels from their neck pouches.
Good work. Now for Thomas O'Neill's accomplices. I am told that there are 2 other criminals involved in this case. Please inform the court as to their respective identities. Do remember, you can choose only one at a time. But don't worry. I will inform you if you make an inaccurate choice.
So, because remember what the O'Neills, Miss Carroll said, Thomas always wanted to make money no matter what. But wait, Tarek was gone for the afternoon, and the lions weren't discovered until the morning. So, and remember, Tarek had, I think they have to cut out Tarek. Because remember, when we went to his house, he said he wouldn't be back until the afternoon. What if this maybe was a case? Hmm. Hmm. There. Okay, yeah, let's try Barry and Stephens.
It appears you've been doing your homework on this case. Now then, what role did Barry O'Neill play in the crime?
He's a lion tamer. He could be the closest to the lions. He fastened pouches.
Quite so. Now tell us, what essential role did Stephen Lyons play in this crime?
Lock picking. He picked lock.
Excellent deduction. Now tell us, who murdered Stephen Lyons?
Who murdered him? Because if Barry got hurt, he wouldn't have been able to murder him. But Stephen didn't have any wounds. He just noticed that it could have been drugs. Thomas is a criminal. He probably drugged him to death. Because if Barry did it, there would have been signs of a fight. But Stephen has a history, a criminal history, but also he's a sailor. Who knows that Thomas is the one as well with the criminal history. He would know about drugs. Thomas.
Good show. But do tell the court just how Thomas O'Neill did the foul deed.
Arsenic. Well, no, if it was arsenic, it would have been noticeable. I think he poisoned him. Because, remember, it's an African ball extravaganza. It would have had snakes. I think it was venom.
What a ruthless chap, that O'Neill. Seems to have all kinds of blood on his hands. Now tell me, why did he kill Stephen Lyons?
Because he knew too much. He probably would have had to pay. Wanted to remember what Miss Carol O'Neill said. Thomas wanted money no matter what. He would have had to pay Mr. Lyons.
Double-crossed. Now there's a tale that Lyons didn't live to tell. Good show. You've done a most satisfactory job on this case. Court is recessed. Until the next time, of course.
Wow.
We must be slipping, my dear Holmes. I dare say if we had put our brains to the task, we could have solved this one in less points. Right this way, Inspector.
I'm a busy man, Holmes. I don't have time to be traipsing about London at your beck and call. Now, why have you called me here?
To help you with this case.
Oh, yeah? How?
By solving the double murders of Lyons and Lyons.
You know who killed the beasts and the chap on St. George's Road?
Yes, and I think you'll be very interested in learning why the deed was done.
Go on, then. I'm listening.
As you must recall, Inspector, 5 months ago, Thomas O'Neill, a jewel thief, escaped a London police search.
We almost had him.
Almost apparently was not good enough. Less than 3 months later, he was detained in Germany in connection with the stolen jewels of the Duchess of Oldenburg. Although the theft was similar to O'Neill's style, they found no evidence to hold him.
What has all this to do with dead lions?
I was just coming to that, Inspector. At the same time as the Duchess's jewels disappeared, Roy Slade's Wild Animal Show finished its German tour. Barry O'Neill, brother of Thomas, happens to be the lion tamer for the troupe.
Could Thomas have used Barry O'Neill's lions to smuggle the jewels into London?
Excellent hypothesis, Watson. I see you are learning.
Oh, thank you, Holmes.
But where did he put the jewels? Behind the lion's back molars?
No need for anything as deep-seated as that. Leather collars with pouches did the trick.
But if the lion tamer put the pouches on, why did Thomas O'Neill have to kill the lions to get them off?
Oh, I know that one. Because Barry O'Neill was in hospital with 2 broken legs.
Right you are, Watson. And that's why Thomas had to solicit the help of Stephen Lyons. Without a key to the cage, he needed the services of an expert lockpicker like Lyons.
Then who killed Lyons?
You mean the animals or the man?
The man.
Thomas O'Neill, so that he wouldn't have to pay for the lockpicker's services.
You know, Holmes, the fracture that Barry O'Neill suffered would have mended in 4 weeks. If Thomas would have had some patience, he would have been able to get his jewels back without any complications.
Ah, yes, Watson. Patience is a virtue. Unfortunately, it seldom comes hand in hand with stealing and murder.
Having spoken with Barry O'Neill, I can't believe he'd be a party to the killing of his own lions.
I don't believe he was. That wasn't part of the original plan.
I've got to hand it to you, Holmes. You've done a fine job on a most difficult case.
Thank you, Inspector. But it really was elementary.
One more thing, Holmes.
Inspector?
We know in the case of Mr. Lyons' death that the murder weapon was poison. Wherever did Thomas O'Neill get it?
Derek Quinn, Vipers Unlimited.
I certainly am glad that this case is shut. But there is one thing that I'm not certain of.
Yes?
Who did leave the note on our doorstep in the first place?
Elementary. Mary O'Neill.
The lion tamer's missus?
I believe she'd had her fill of circus life and was ready to settle down. When she suspected Thomas O'Neill and her husband were involved in jewel thieving, she knew it was time to get out.
Holmes, you are simply amazing.
Wow. So, that was everywhere. Wow. Okay. We got one more mystery to solve. The Guildford paintings. Yeah, let's see. All clear.
This has been a very upsetting day for me.
Undoubtedly, Sir Simpson, you are referring to last night's theft of the 2 De Kuyper paintings from the National Gallery.
You've heard?
All of London has heard.
Tell us, what do you know of this unfortunate affair?
Well, about 6 months ago, July 1st to be exact, an auction was held at Armitage's gallery for the 2 new recently discovered De Kuypers.
I'd never heard of the artist before reading the newspaper this morning. Who was he?
A student of Rubens, and until recently, there were only 6 of his paintings in existence.
Who owned those 6?
4 were in the Louvre in Paris, 1 in the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam, and 1 in the private collection of Lord Winslow Smedley of London.
How did you hear of this auction?
From Brady Norris, my head curator. I immediately gave my authorization to purchase the paintings.
Well, how much did you pay for the paintings, Sir Simpson?
£125,000. No paltry sum, to be sure, but decidedly less than what we had anticipated.
I had no idea art could be so costly.
People are awed by anything which they believe to be rare.
Indeed, and that is why I was determined to bring together the known De Kuypers for a show. The respective owners agreed, and in 2 days the exhibition was to have opened.
Tell me, Sir Simpson, how well was the De Kuyper show publicized?
Oh, it has been common knowledge for weeks.
And when were the other paintings to be hung in the gallery?
Tomorrow.
Where are the other 4 paintings?
The Louvre collection is at the French Embassy under the care of Monsieur Beauclerc, and the Rijksmuseum's De Kuyper is in our storeroom.
And Lord Smedley's?
We were to pick his up in the morning at his London townhouse.
Thank you, Sir Simpson. I think we have all the facts we need to begin now. I hope we shall be able to clear up this matter in a very short time.
Oh, okay, this one may require a bit more brain power. Okay, I think because that's something that will be the most favor in this January. So, telegram. Toy. Okay, exhibition. Let's see. A multi-accumulated stock. Oh. United States Board of Education alert. Okay. Here it is. The Recreative Penny Schools Association. Okay, 9. Oh, they stole the paintings. Ah, here's something. Okay, Sir Simpson Vidcombe, director of the National Gallery, announced last night at the gallery's annual fundraising dinner that he would be retiring his post come June of next year. Sir Simpson has provided excellent leadership for the gallery for the past 20 years. Rumors of his retirement has been circulating for months. His successor is yet to be determined. So someone is retiring. The Coopers police report that the National School Gallery's all the Cooper paintings were stolen last night. According to the guards, on today the paintings were stolen shortly before midnight. Scotland Yard is investigation. Sir Simpson Vidcombe, the gallery's director, will not be reached for comment. This burglary comes only 3 days before the opening of a show, bringing together all the known Coopers in the world. The paintings stolen Summer Solstice und the Blue Unicorn are the most recently discovered paintings by the 17th century student on Rubens, the National Guard. The National Gallery auction, the exhibition has been postponed. So we have someone retiring, but then paintings are stolen. I think we need to speak to Mr. Pike. He would know something about this. Remember, Mr. Pike is like an archaeologist, but also a purveyor for fine arts.
Ooh, my poor head. I believe I overdid it at Dame Agnes Bash last night.
Did you hear anything there that might be of interest to us?
I heard many things, Holmes, mostly from the chattering mouth of Pierre Donnet, world-renowned expert on De Kuyper. He has managed to do shockingly well for himself, considering 20 years ago he was a starving artist. But then his ship came in.
Whatever do you mean?
In 1872, he discovered the first De Kuyper in a church attic in Brussels. Soon after it sailed to Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam, he began a whole new and extravagant life. I suppose that's why he can afford to keep a luxurious suite at the Langham Hotel.
Did his discovery of the De Kuyper catapult his own work into the spotlight?
Hardly. Ooh. In fact, Donnet has never sold a painting done by his own hand.
Okay, yeah, also, yeah, that's huge. If you're going to retire, wouldn't you want to go with lots of money? Yeah, but remember, he can't make it seem like it was him. But then we talk about this other guy here. Pike is like a fine arts purveyor. But we have someone who's living very, very richly at the Langston Hotel. I think we're going to pull people, but I think we need to go to the gallery. So, gee, I think we need to go to the gallery. No? Oh, I guess it's because it's a place. Yeah, there may be clothes here. I think we need to go here.
There were 4 of us on duty when the theft occurred. Our shift starts at 4 p.m., and upon our arrival, we prepare the gallery for its closing at 5. Now, on the day of the robbery, by 5:15, all the employees of the gallery had left for the day, with the exception of Sir Simpson and Mr. Norris.
Was that unusual?
No, sir. It is their custom to remain until the gallery is secured. I personally let Sir Simpson out through the main entrance at 5:30. Mr. Norris stayed on because he was expecting a delivery.
What time did the delivery arrive?
I'd say it was 5:45 when our Cummins and Goins wagon arrived. Charlie and I helped Mr. Norris and the deliveryman unload 1 large crate and 2 smaller ones.
Do you know where these deliveries were from?
Well, I'm not sure about the larger one, but the 2 smaller ones were from Jardines.
What happened after the crates were unloaded?
The deliveryman left. Charlie locked and barred the loading dock door. Mr. Norris went into the storeroom to check his shipment, and I returned to the guardroom.
Did you see him open any of the crates?
No, sir, I didn't.
What happened next?
At 6:30, Mr. Norris informed me that he'd locked the storeroom and would be leaving for the evening.
And you let him out?
Yes, sir, through the main entrance. Then I made my rounds through the office wing, checking all the doors to make sure they were secured.
And how did you spend the rest of the evening?
Looking after my rounds. I took the 11 clocker through the east wing. At about 11:10, all the paintings were in their proper place in Gallery 12. Then Charlie made his rounds, following the same path that I'd just made, except when he arrived at Gallery 12, the 2 De Kuyper paintings had been cut from their frames.
What time was that?
I answered his alarm at 11:35 and sent him to check the loading entry in the office wing.
Have you any idea how the thief got into the museum?
No, sir. The only keys to the outside doors are kept in the guardroom or in the custody of the patrolling guards. Sir Simpson and Mr. Norris are the only staff members who have keys, and even they only have keys to the inside doors. Well, that's all I know. I hope I've been of some help, sir.
So, that was a lot of information, what he said. But remember what he said, there were 4 of them. And the last person who go out is Ben. Wow. So, but I guess because he's a security guard or he works there, he has to make sure he specifies or makes things detailed, so nothing's left out. Wow. Let me tell this, we're going to go back there. I'm going to see what they think. Let's go back. See. We were nosing around outside Norris's office in the bloody rain. Notice his window was open. Norris, okay. National Gallery, okay, Norris. Let's go.
Sir Simpson said you might be coming by, though I don't know how I can be of much help. I was at Dame Agnes's dinner party when the robbery took place.
Right now, we're just trying to piece together what happened to Mr. Norris. Do you have any idea who might be responsible for the theft of the paintings?
No idea at all.
Or have you any idea how the thieves got into the museum?
None in the least.
Were the De Kuypers the most valuable paintings in the museum?
No, of course not. We have Rembrandt's, Da Vinci's.
Then why do you think the De Kuypers were the only paintings stolen?
I haven't the foggiest idea, Mr. Holmes. I'm a museum curator, not a detective. I believe that is your calling.
Okay. This is going everywhere. Wow. Okay. There are so many people involved. Let's see here. But remember what that guard said. They take turns. Well, then we went back to the National Gallery and asked their friends here. They discovered that Mr. Norris's window was open. And then we got the people with Mr. Pike. Mr. Pike is like an extravagant art critic of either things. He said that there's someone living lavishly in the hotel, but there's also the person that sold the Cleo paintings. So, but also we have the director, the art director, museum director, who is retiring soon. And he could get a huge payout that once the paintings have lowered down in the crime notability, he can sell them to someone. There's so many people. Let's go to, Jardine Matheson. Jardine Matheson. Huh? Okay, maybe it's a J. There. No? Jardine, is it S-O-N? Shipping companies, Aberdeen. Oh, it's a shipping company. Okay. Remember they did say that, okay.
The shipment of Nubian art consigned to the National Gallery was delivered to Wells Warehouse at 38 Blackfriars Bridge Road on the instructions of Mr. Brady Norris 5 days ago.
Oh, 5 days ago. And Norris. Okay, let's see here. What is this? I think we need to check the warehouse because he said warehouse. Let's check the warehouse. Yeah, warehouse.
This.
Let's see. Holmes, the warehouse was rented by the late Mr. Cole. Okay, we got the rental. What was rented by the late Mr. Cole, but how about he didn't have anything with it. That's just...
This one is most intriguing, Watson.
What have you unearthed this time, Holmes?
This warehouse was rented by Matthew Cole. Until yesterday, that is.
Wait, you said the late Mr. Cole, did he die? Hold on. Obituaries. I don't think it stated anything about someone dying. It is weird. Personals. Wait. Carriage accident. Sir Sidney Sloan. It would gradually stop Lady Sloan's. Okay. Metropolitan carriages deposit a number of articles including jewelry, purses, cloaks, coat, shawls, opera, and field glasses, bags, umbrellas. Application to be made at the Boston Fountain. It would have been in here. Something about someone dying. That should be. Overrooms. Always. Here it is. The reason why is because it made a news headline. Early this morning, a man was found dead in his room at the Tolver Rooms. Remember, Tolver Rooms. At approximately 4 o'clock, the Metropolitan Fire Brigade responded to an alarm at 11 Bloomington Causeway to extinguish the fire before it spread throughout the boarding house. The police have identified the dead man as Matthew Cole. The fire apparently began in Cole's room, although the exact cause of the fire has not been determined. Oh, wow. Okay, so he can't reach out to him because he's dead. Okay. Okay. Mr. Murray. We're going to be Mr. Murray. Murray. He's a
Excuse me,
scientist.
Dr. Murray. May I have a moment of your time?
Ah, Whitson. So nice to see you again.
It's Watson, sir.
Glad to hear it. Now, what can I do for you, Whitson?
Holmes and I are interested in the debris from the fire of Matthew Cole's hotel room.
Aye, such a tragedy. Everything was soaked with kerosene. No doubt this one was arson. Not much left to analyze. I found a key in his pocket. No number on it, though. Ah, but there was one other thing. A piece of canvas oil painting.
An oil painting?
Aye, it was smeared with Prussian blue paint.
Oh, may I have a look at it?
No, sorry. I sent it over to London University for me brother Mortimer to examine. He's a professor of chemistry, you know, an expert on paint pigments.
Top name. Also, he said Prussian blue. Remember, one of the two paintings there was Summer Solstice with the blue unicorn. So maybe if top was a part of the blue unicorn. Okay. Okay, we're going to visit Mr. Mortimer. He was alive after the item was stolen, probably because he rented it on behalf of someone. The warehouse. Let's visit Mortimer. He probably died after stealing it but then there's a piece of canvas painting with blue.
You are mistaken.
Science does not lie.
Excuse me, gentlemen.
Monsieur Murray, I am one of the world's greatest experts on De Kuyper, and I tell you this painting was painted by the hand of De Kuyper.
Mr. Beauclair, I am not an art expert.
You stated the obvious, monsieur.
But I am an expert on paint pigments and their chemical composition. And I tell you that any painting containing Prussian blue isn't from the 17th century. The process to create Prussian blue had not yet been developed. That paint cannot be more than 30 years old.
You don't know what you are talking about.
Good day, gentlemen.
Okay. So, Prussian blue, that giving it in like creation until 30 years ago from today. 1700 was the De Kuyper painting. Hence, it couldn't have been from the blue unicorn. But what I'm getting is this. What if they were trying to make forgeries? Like, look at this. It's an art heist. You have the original ones, but you need to hold on to them until they're not as criminally marked. So what do you do? Instead of canvas painting was smeared with Prussian blue. People know that one of the paintings is the blue unicorn. What if they were trying to get forgeries to replace the paintings? Or they could say, hey, we found the paintings, but they're the forgeries, and they have the real ones. And the museum has a copy. Maybe they were trying to do a bait on speech. That's what I'm thinking. Because why would you have an item there with Prussian blue, but one of the paintings is called the blue unicorn? Yeah, like they were trying to maybe make a forgery, but something happened. He got killed or something. And this, like, oh wow. Because Prussian blue wasn't created in the 1700s when the clear paintings were made. They were made 30 years before today's date in the game. So around 1860s, give or take, or 1850s, give or take. Wow. Let's go to the Carlton. We need to go to the Carlton. Something's, this is everywhere.
Sir Herbert, were you not one of the bidders at the Armitage auction?
I was bidding for someone else.
For whom?
Can't tell you that. If they wanted to be known, they wouldn't have hired me, now would they?
What was your relationship with Brady Norris?
We went to Oxford together. What of it?
Was he a student of art there?
Yes, and a rather good one, too. Brady and I once discussed opening our own gallery. For me, it would have been a mere business venture, but for Brady, well, he always wanted to control an enviable collection.
Well, then he has realized his dream. As curator, he certainly must do that now.
Not really. Everything Brady does must be authorized by Sir Simpson.
Oh, you heard that? Everything he wants to do has to be authorized by Sir Simpson. And Sir Simpson is the person that's about to retire. What I'm thinking is, these were pilfered, and after Simpson retires, they put the forgeries in there, but they have the real ones, the person. This is, that's my theory. Because remember what it said in the newspaper? It was rumored for Simpson's retirement months ago. And it's been months. And all of this is happening, so when he retires, he will have to get authorization from Simpson. I think we need to go to the gallery's Hermitage. Yeah, let's go. Philippines. You got the link all in
Mr. Armitage, can you give us the details leading up to and including the sale of the De Kuyper paintings?
Let me see. It was early June. I received a visit from Hiram Davenport, a London solicitor. He informed me that his client had 2 new De Kuyper paintings that he wished to auction.
I assume you checked the authenticity of the paintings?
Yes, as always. Everything was in order. He had in hand a certificate of authenticity signed by Pierre Dernay, the well-known De Kuyper expert.
Did you meet Mr. Davenport's client?
No, I dealt only with Mr. Davenport.
What can you tell us about the auction itself?
Mr. Davenport's client set very strict conditions regarding the sale. The auction had to take place on July the 1st, and the public announcement was not to be made until June 23rd. Just 1 week to prepare. And as if that weren't enough, Mr. Davenport informed me that the paintings were to be sold as a pair. A pair!
Odd. Wouldn't the seller be able to fetch more for them if they were sold individually?
Unquestionably. It was a strange request.
And how did the auction turn out?
Due to the short public notice, many of the big bidders did not show. Mr. Brady Norris, curator of the National Gallery, was the successful bidder, as you know. I must admit that the paintings brought more than I had expected.
Do you have any idea why that was so?
Undoubtedly because of the energetic bidding from Sir Herbert Kaufman and Dame Agnes Smedley.
Oh, okay, so we got some more names, damn it. And yeah, I'm thinking this whole thing was fun, because remember what he said, it was such short notice that the highest well-known bidders that would have bid on it could not even make the event. Like, what else? Like, it had to have some planning in it, because the bigger bidders are out. You told Huckleberry you probably have local bidders that you know wouldn't bid over a certain amount, and they're being auctioned off together instead of a pair. Not together instead of separate. It's like a heist, like a planned heist. A very over-planned heist. And you remember, he didn't even benefit of it. We don't know. Well, remember, we were concerned about them being fakes, but he said they had a certificate of authenticity. So the original owner, had a certificate for it. So I don't think they were fakes when they came to the gallery. I think the original owner actually had the authentic De Kuyper paintings. when something happened after. Reading through the names here that they have written down. I think we need to go through our contacts. I think we need to go to Mr. Meek. So let's go through our address book here for Meek. Because Meek knows a bit about
Sir Jasper, could I trouble you for a few moments of your time?
Always a pleasure to help, Watson. But I must admit I'm not much of an art buff.
Actually, I wanted to ask you about Matthew Cole, the chap that died in the fire.
Yes, well, he may have died in the fire, but according to my autopsy findings, he definitely did not die because of the fire.
What?
Not a trace of...
What? Wait.
Findings, he definitely did not die because of the fire.
What?
He didn't die because of the fire? Okay. I may have to go back on my written notes here. He didn't die because of the fire. But remember what Murray the scientist said? It was arson because there was kerosene there. So I was thinking, okay, something happened. Maybe he was at that shindig that the other people said they were at. He was probably, under the influence of wine, on a good time, and asleep. Someone may have snuck in and poured kerosene everywhere, and he died in the fire. But now we have investigator forensics Meek here saying he didn't die because of the fire. So I have to take off those notes I've written here because I was thinking that someone arsoned his place if he died because of it. I mean, someone did arson his place. Who knows? Because again, Murray said it was kerosene. It was a man-made fire. But the fire didn't kill him. I mean, it could be that the smoke did if he didn't burn to death. I mean, smoke inhalation can cause you to die in a fire. So it could be that, but... Oh, wow. Oh, okay, so this just twisted everything around. Man, I'm telling you, these older games knew what they were doing. This is why I love games from the 80s, 90s, early to mid-2000. Because this is good. Like, seriously, I love these older games. But then what could have killed? But you know what? I just told us something. Yeah, this game is amazing. This game was made in 1992 for the DOS, for MS-DOS in earlier computer systems, like Microsoft 3.0 series, or before that. Like, if I had a game, like, imagine if they remastered this game and they added more chapters to it, like maybe 10 or 20 chapters. I have a feeling that on this world, in this art style, like if they kept that art style, this would sell so well today. If they remastered this for today, with the same art style, same live action, different people maybe, or the ones that are after these late chapters that change, I think they should not put anything. This would sell. I would buy this. Because it's so good. Now we have to retool things. So what killed him? It will be a banger, yeah. So the fire didn't kill here, but there could be still my theory that smoke inhalation, I mean, it's not the actual bit of a fire, but it's a part of the fire, it's the smoke. But what if he wasn't set on fire? Maybe he inhaled the smoke, or maybe he... because he was at the shindig. Maybe he was poisoned. Let's have him finish.
Not a trace of smoke in the chap's lungs.
Well, there goes my titty. God damn it. God damn it. Not a trace of smoke in a chap's lungs. There goes my second hypothesis. The timing. The timing, yeah, the timing. I just sat here and tried to break down the technicality of the literal. And then he says, what is it touch?
Smoke in the chap's lungs.
Not a trace of smoke in the chap's lungs. Wunderbar, wunderbar. I just made myself look like a Dummkopf. Just wunderbar. There's a big old Dummkopf here, I guess. God dang it. I'm gonna need to stand up. I'm gonna need to stretch. Goodness. After that, I'm gonna stretch for a bit. I'm going to slow this ad for an extra couple of minutes and just stretch. Goodness, the timing. You need to clip that. If you can go back to this stream and clip it, or I may even be able to go back to the stream and clip it. Just get the clipping of that timing of me saying my hypothesis, or him saying what it wasn't. Like if someone could clip that, I go back to the stream, let me see, at around 3 hours. 3 hours and 5 minutes. Just walk to the stream at 3 hours and 5 minutes. I'll put it right there, because right now it's 3 hours and 10. And so walk down the stream around 3 hours and 5 minutes, 3 hours and 10 minutes. And I can see, I'll see if I'm able to make a clipping. I may just share a top one, or if anyone here can make a clipping of it. But wow, the timing. I'm going to stretch. Be right back. I need to stretch and get some faster. I need some faster right now. 1 moment. Going to stretch also is where it gets some faster. The timing. Oh, damn it. Wow, Scheiße. Scheiße. And what's that? Clear goodness. Really. Okay, I'm back now. Oh, okay, so let's see, let's think here, I'm back. Okay, Okay, we're going to have to think a bit more now. Because now my theory, my hypothesis is now not what it could be because of what he just said at the last minute. Okay, so now we have to think a bit better. Alright, what else?
No, I'd say the nasty bump on his head was what caused his demise.
Force blunt trauma to the head. Okay, so his cause of death may have been force blunt trauma to the head. Because he just said the forensics person there, Mr. Meek, just stated a nasty bump on the head. Now, this bump could have killed him instantly or knocked him out and his brain bled out. It could have been that, but it was force blunt trauma. Okay. Oh. But wait, who would have an item? The only people I could think that will have an item who cause force blunt trauma like that would be a security guard. But remember, he said they switch shifts. So when one guard is done, they switch people. Maybe it was, okay, I think I know what happened. Maybe one of the guards was in on it. That's what I'm thinking. Because force blunt trauma, it has to be something to make a big impact onto your head. I think maybe, okay, I think I know what happened.
Hear ye, hear ye. The Queen's Court stands in order. So it is the National Gallery theft that brings you to my court, is it not? Well, then permit me to ask, who was the thief who lifted the decipers from the National Gallery? Remember to choose either from your notebook or the directory.
It was Matthew. Matthew had the paintings there. But someone attacked him and set the area on fire.
Indeed, it was the petty thief who perished in the fire. Now, who put Matthew Cole up to the foul deed?
Mr. Norris. It had to be Norris.
Splendid. Now tell us, if you can, why the decipers were stolen.
Okay, this one? Let me think here. It had to be black market. But no, remember what we talked about, forgeries. Because there was Russian blue. Yeah, forgeries. I guess they were afraid that we could suffer as forgeries.
That is correct. Good show. Now tell me, if you can, who killed Matthew Cole?
So, it had to be Brady. It had to be Brady. I'm leaning towards safety. Yeah, I'm leaning towards Brady.
First theft, then murder. Ah, what a tangled web we weave. Now, Please inform the court as to Pierre Donet's involvement in the case.
He had to forge that certificate. But then, if he forged that certificate, then I don't think it was just, maybe he forged all of them.
Such an unfortunate waste of talent. Now for your final question. Can you tell me what part Sir Herbert Kaufman played in this affair?
I think he knew about, okay, okay, going to pause it. Pause the game. Okay. They were all back here. So we left off on this. Why did he do that? I said because he knew about Monet on the bus blackmailing notice. Or Kaufman's part. What did Kaufman have to do? But if you remember, it was a short time. Not all the big bidders was there. I'm thinking that he drove Kaufman's part was that to make it seem authentic, he drove up the bidding.
Splendid! This was a tough case and you cracked it.
Yeah,
excellent job. Court is recessed. Until the next time, of course.
Because Kaufman drove up the bidding. Remember, not a lot of big bidders were there, but Kaufman was there. So he drove up the bidding to make it seem more authentic. authentic.
Excellent job on a most difficult case. If we had been doing our best, we could have solved this one in less points, but we're not too far off, are we?
All right.
The best way to begin, Sir Simpson, is to give you a factual account of what has happened. To start with, there are no De Kuypers.
What?
They're all forgeries. Forgeries done by one very talented, egotistical man, Pierre Donnet.
But how can you be sure?
Prussian blue paint. You see, a scrap of the stolen canvas was analyzed, and it turns out that that particular paint pigment was not in use during De Kuyper's lifetime. Sticky wicket.
You know, Holmes, if Donnet was such an expert, then why did he use Prussian blue?
He was an artist, not a chemist. He slipped up, and fortunate for us that he did.
But however did you know it was Donnet? And why did he do it?
First of all, Monsieur Beauclerc, who has seen all the De Kuypers, insisted they were all done by the same hand. And interestingly enough, every sale was initiated by Donnet.
Surely no coincidence.
Indeed. Pierre Donnet is a very talented artist, but he couldn't make his living at it until he created De Kuyper. He wrote his biography, painted his paintings, and the art world went wild.
Making Donnet a very rich man in the process.
What happened next must have given Donnet great personal satisfaction. Brady Norris, not knowing that all the De Kuypers were forgeries, approached Donnet, the forger, and proposed that he forge 2 De Kuyper paintings.
Certainly he came to the right place.
One can only imagine the willpower it must have taken for Donnet to keep a straight face. Ah, but how could he pass up such an offer?
But why did Norris do it?
He had his eye on the directorship of the National Gallery, and he was hoping that such a brilliant acquisition as the De Kuypers would put him in the forefront after your retirement. Also, he split a tidy sum with Donnet right after the auction.
Oh, my.
So, everything went according to plan until you upset it.
Me?
Yes, by arranging for the De Kuyper show that would bring together all of the De Kuypers.
I don't understand.
You would be putting a spotlight on the 2 recently purchased by the gallery, and naturally the paintings would be compared. That was the last thing Norris wanted to have happen. Remember, he did not know that the other paintings were forgeries.
And no discrepancies would be revealed because they were all painted by the same hand.
Very astute of you, Watson.
Elementary, Holmes.
So Norris took part in the theft?
He masterminded it. You see, he became so fearful of being found out that his only solution was to remove the evidence from view. He hired Matthew Cole, a minor thief, to help him.
But how did Cole get into the museum?
In a crate Norris had delivered to the museum. He locked the crate containing Cole in the storeroom and slipped the storeroom key under the door. He then left the rest up to Cole.
Oh, Matthew Cole? Wasn't he the chap who perished in the fire?
Yes, a fire set by your own Mr. Norris.
Ghastly. Why did he do it?
To destroy the evidence and his only witness.
The most complex and devious series of deeds. I am speechless.
Brilliant, Holmes. This was a tough nut to crack.
Elementary, my dear Watson.
Okay, yeah. I think we did good saving that for last because I feel like that was the longest one, really. Like that one, because even the end here, the case solution, was much longer than the other 2. So I think we did good saving the longest for last because that was everywhere. So Simpson had no part in there. It's just that Simpson announced the display of the 2 paintings. On the orders would have been caught. Yeah, this was a roller coaster. It was a roller coaster, truly. So, you know, Simpson's retirement, Simpson had nothing to do with it, like what we thought in the beginning. He just was going to display it, the 2 new paintings, but he had no idea they were forgeries. And, wow, okay. Going to save. Painting. And they're going to quit. Oh, wow, wow. This game took up 3.5 hours. I'm gonna still have us play a bit of Simpsons Hit and Run. like maybe a couple of minutes, and then we'll save the rest of The Simpsons for another stream. Yeah, it was amazing. Let me get Simpsons hit and run up here. We're just going to play a few minutes of it. One moment. I tell you what, when you finish editing it, you can send me a message via Fixer if it has like a Google Drive file or like a OneDrive file. How to pay. What you can do is search for me or just look at my profile. I have messages open. Or I have Discord as well. If you want to save it as a Google Drive, I can give you my Discord here. And if you have Discord, we can message that people. Or if you want, I can message you on Twitter or X, my business email. If you feel like you don't want to do the Google Drive and just send the video as it is, I do have my VTuber email address. Okay. Okay, so the Simpson hit and run is not going to work, so we may have to scratch that part of it so I can get it to work. So I do apologize about that. Again, this is Invent and Fair Games, and I'm trying to see, it should be compatible with my game because this was made in the early 2000s. But if it doesn't want to work, that's okay. We have other games we can play. But now we're past the 3 hours mark, so I'm just going to get us into intermission here so we can wait so long. But we'll say The Simpsons, but again, that was on Sherlock Holmes Counseling Detective 2. We have Counseling Detective 1 and Counseling Detective 3. So we have one more Sherlock Holmes series to take care of. So don't worry, we have a lot of games this week or next week. Or are we back Wednesday or roll back Thursday? Or roll back Thursday or Terror Thursday on tomorrow. Let's see. Yeah, I'll tell you guys again because I have a list here, but I forgot to organize the list here, so that's my fault for that. Well, let me see who we're going to play. But then I'll just keep you guys updated on what the stream. It's already Thursday here in Deutschland, but I know in North America it's not Thursday yet. I find out who we're going to read. Let me get the main music started. One moment here. Oh wait, I the herbs. So I don't want to try and see if I could emulate or play the herbs Sims in a city on here. I'll try to see about that for Thursday and see if it works. music here, take us out. We're going to be reading, a Mick Bob, who is playing Metal Gear 3 Snake Eater. That's what it says. She just started her stream less than 20 minutes ago. So we're going to rate her now. Hope to see you guys next time. Again, I'm going to try to get the Earth over for Thursday. If not, we'll try another throwback game. And I'll update you guys on Twix